if you can see really closely here, they kind of look like little jewels. Hello again, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel, and on this channel we talk about herbal medicine, wildcrafting plants, and just general botanical and very lifestyle things. Today we are going to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that is gemmotherapy. Is it crystal healing? No. Is it even cooler than crystal healing? Perhaps. Gemmo refers to the bud of a plant that has not yet turned into a leaf or flower. It is Latin or Italian. Gemmotherapy are basically herbal tinctures made of glycerin and alcohol and the buds of plants, and they contain a lot of life force in the form of stem cells, which have enormous therapeutic value. I have personally used gemmotherapy on and off throughout the years. It is very expensive because these plant buds can only be harvested at specific times and then immediately processed into herbal medicine. And so it's a little bit hard to find, but that's why I'm here to show you how to make your own, being that you harvest them in time. Today we made a gemmotherapy preparation of maple leaves. This came from my Japanese maple in my yard, and this is the branch that I'm flailing around dramatically for you. And this is what we made. It's super pretty. You can see the gradient. These are little maple gems or maple buds in a glycerin and alcohol solution. And so I'll show you how I made it and how you can make your own. Gemmotherapy was recognized and kind of invented in our modern world in Belgium and France in the 1950s. And in 1965, it was finally included in the French Pharmacopoeia. We have Dr. Henry Pohl and Dr. Max Tuteau to thank for modern gemmotherapy, which they called phytoembryotherapy. These men were doctors and homeopaths, and they first applied gemmotherapy as a homeopathic preparation, which basically just means an extremely diluted medicine. Modern research has found that it is the plant cells in the meristem of these embryonic plant bud tissues that have the most healing potential, and these are undifferentiated plant stem cells, and they do exert a huge influence over our organ physiology. Modern day gemmotherapy preparations are made with a 1:20 ratio, 1 being the ratio of the plant matter that you use, the plant buds, and 20 being the ratio of the menstruum, aka, the alcohol and glycerin you use to extract it with. I was lucky enough to briefly study abroad in Italy, and now I pepper it into all of my conversations. No, really, but I learned about gemmotherapy from really amazing experts, and I toured the factory called Aboca, where they grew all these gemmotherapy extracts, and it was beautiful, guys, and I learned so much. But all my notes are in Italian, so that's why we're relearning it again today. I made a preparation of maple leaf buds, and the reason I did this was, well, 1, it was in my yard, and 2, I thought it would be very helpful for me because I also have fatigue, nervousness, chronic viral infections, things like that. While most of the other plants and trees around me had already leafed out, there was still some birch buds left, and so I made a really quick gemmo preparation of the birch buds also, because birch is one of my favorite medicines. So all you need to make your own gemmotherapy preparations are alcohol, glycerin, and the plant buds. So we are in my yard, and this is my Japanese maple tree, my biggest flex. Well, I'm kidding, but am I really? Anyway, this is what it looks like when it's just growing new leaves, and what we are after is the little buds that haven't quite leafed out like that. And there are a lot of them. They're just a little hard to see because they're very small. And their very small size made this kind of a tedious and arduous task. It took me quite some time, maybe like 10 or 20 minutes to get a sizable handful of them. But this is what you're looking for, these little buds that haven't leafed out yet, and they're so cute, and the tree is basically chock full of them. It's a big tree, so it's not going to miss a little handful. This Japanese maple is not Acer campestris, the maple traditionally used in gemmotherapy over in Italy and other parts of Europe, but that's okay. It is an Acer species, that is what maples are called, and I think it will work just fine. I wanted to say a quick word about detoxes, And I know that right now detox and detox herbal medicines have gotten a pretty bad rap, and I want to explain this. Now, I don't want to give you or recommend you medicine that will just, make you live on the toilet for several days. I think that is bad for your body and it should not be promoted. However, I think it's also wrong to say that we never need assistance in our natural detoxification processes. Sometimes our liver, our kidneys, our skin, and other detox organs need a little extra help performing their regular duties, and that is where herbal medicine can really shine and really help. We are just going to live with the seasons, and plant bud medicine, Gemmotherapy, is for spring cleaning our bodies. So here I am in my kitchen, and this is the big old gallon of glycerin I bought online. It took a while for it to come, but it was totally worth it. I am mixing 1/2 glycerin to 1/2 alcohol, which is just some cheap vodka I got, and I am mixing it up. You can see that the glycerin has this kind of soapy consistency. I apologize for my appearance. It's been a long week of being a mother, and that is my handful of little buds, little gems. They're so pretty. They're kind of like greenish reddish. It is not the perfect ratio of glycerin and alcohol to buds. It's a little too many buds, but that's okay. I can always get a bigger jar later. I just used what I had on hand, and I will get more alcohol and glycerin later. But I am pouring the alcohol glycerin mixture into the plant buds, and I am securing the lid and shaking it up, shaking it like crazy. And don't forget to put a label on it. I just called it Acer Gemmo April 2021 because that will help me not have like mystery potions in my cabinets that I don't know what they are. As you can see in the light here, I ended up throwing a couple of big leaf maple gems in just for variety and spice, and since I am a folk herbalist, that means that I don't care about like being precise. As far as I'm concerned, they're all Acer species and they all are going to have a similar therapeutic action. Not shown is when I harvested some birch buds and made the exact same thing but with birch. Your window of harvest is so narrow, and traditionally gems, plant buds, would be harvested at specific lunar phases. Now, I was waiting for my big old gallon of glycerin to come in the mail because I can't find glycerin at any store that I can buy it at, which is fine. It's like a weird item. Catch me buying big jugs of cheap vodka instead, and people being like, oh, she must be an alcoholic, because they don't know what herbalism is. But we don't judge here. I ended up harvesting these plant gems, these plant buds, when the moon was in a waxing crescent phase. And so we all know that the moon affects gravity and the tides and the water even in our bodies and thus in plants. And so traditionally, when you harvest things, you want to wait till the moon is waning. But my rationale, and I don't know much about these things, was that, I'm picking the baby plant buds during the waxing crescent phase. The moon is just starting to exert its gravitational pull on us more strongly again, and the sap is rising in the plant. It causes like a pulling up action on the plant that peaks during the full moon phase. And so my thinking was that the sap is just starting to like rise again in these plant buds. And then I gathered them real quick. And so hopefully they will be full of lots of vital force. It would have been cooler if it were at like a full moon or maybe a waning moon, but I feel like gemmotherapy preparations are different than harvesting like fruit or leaves or roots. And so maybe it's fine. If you guys know anything about this kind of thing, whether from like an astrological or like a scientific perspective, please let me know in the comments. That would be really cool because I am learning with you. Alright guys, that is it for the video. I hope you found it super useful, and I hope that you get a chance to make your own gemmotherapy preparations. I post every Friday. So until next week, I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I also hope that you like and comment and subscribe and do all the YouTube things for me so that I can keep making these videos. Okay, bye.